I have watched cable news all day, and I have not seen this anywhere else. So if you have, fair's fair. But as far as I know, the first time you're going to see this, we're all going to see this, is here on NewsNation. And this moment, in a way, might change the presidential election. Here's President Trump yesterday at a grocery store checkout line in Pennsylvania. He came to highlight exploding grocery costs and left, picking up the grocery tab for a mom there.
Yeah, it's going to go down a little bit. Just went down $100.
Thank you so much.
We'll do that for you from the White House, all right?
Thank you.
All right, bye. Nice seeing you, everybody.
You.
Beautiful. They're your kids? Yep.
Yeah, they are. 3 boys.
Perfecto.
With us now, Kelly Laco, executive editor of Politics Daily Mail, Tia Mitchell, Washington correspondent at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Ladies, great to have both of you. Thank you. Kelly, Daily Mail just put out a story on this. It said social media explodes at this moment. What about that moment exploded on social media and didn't make it on cable news?
Well, I think Trump knows good TV. This moment went viral almost immediately. Trump hands a mother, struggling mother, trying to buy groceries.
Have you guys tracked her down yet?
We're working on it.
Okay.
He hands her a $100 bill. It's crisp. It's fresh. She grabs it. Her groceries are so much cheaper. And, you know, social media exploded today. They started coming up with all these different conspiracy theories saying, you know, is this even legal? Can Trump do this? Is he violating campaign finance laws? All sorts of, you know, crazy conspiracies out of the left wing. It turns out Trump was totally within his own rights to do so. He was acting in his own generous heart. And, you know, I think this is an act that we saw Trump do yesterday, and he should continue doing it on the campaign trail. I think retail politics is actually working well for him, especially as he's trying to get women. He's trying to, you know, really hammer home the economy issue. We saw him give a MAGA hat to a struggling 8-year-old who was battling cancer. We saw him...
There's a human side of him. He gets it. Yeah. You said he gets TV. That's what, you know, he's a performer. Kamala Harris has many things to you. Retail politics is perhaps not her strength. Is this a vulnerability?
Actually, I disagree. I think she does retail politics very well on certain topics. She had been touring college campuses before she was president. Yeah. She had gone on a tour about the overturning of Roe v. Wade before she was a candidate for president.
She did well on that, fair enough.
Yeah, so, you know, to say she doesn't connect now, I don't think she specializes in the type of, like, more like literal retail politics. We don't see her doing as many of like the mom and pop shops, but she does that as well, actually, because when she was in Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl, she stopped by a small business and ordered food for her staff. So she does it, just maybe not in the same way.
It does, you know, his ability to connect with Perfecto, with kids and on and on. It does, though, draw attention to this issue of inflation, which is the one thing that Donald Trump wants everybody to keep talking about. Kamala Harris has continued to struggle on this. She was on NPR, asked a question about what she was going to do to bring down the prices of rent, which have exploded under the Biden administration. Here she is.
I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother worked long days, she worked weekends, and she was able to save up so that by the time I was a teenager, she was able to buy our first house. And so I understand and have as part of my lived experience understanding, one, a lifetime practically of being a renter, and also what it means for families to aspire to own a home.
There was a moment, and I'm going to be a history geek here, 2008, when Sarah Palin and John McCain's campaign ended, and that's when when Sarah Palin became a joke defined by Saturday Night Live. I can see Russia from my house. Kamala Harris is not being defined by Saturday Night Live, but is being defined as a joke by Al Gore. Take a listen.
You know, this audience may not all have heard those facts before.
That's true. That's true. Also,
I want to point out that Kamala Harris grew up in a middle-class family also.
Is there a danger in this line coming back to haunt her?
I mean, I guess, of course, people are going to poke fun at politicians when their stump speech becomes repetitive, as all of their stump speeches do. So, yes, is that opening her up to some jokes? Absolutely, because we know that aspects of her stump speech are repetitive. But again, I think that's something that every politician struggles with, and it's more about how they kind of react to that. If she takes it on the chin, as opposed to if she takes offense to it, I think is probably, at the end of the day, the jokes are the jokes. You know, I don't know if that says a whole lot about the campaign, one way or another. Like, at the end of the day, she's struggling to message on the economy, jokes or no jokes.
Is that why social media sort of exploded with that Donald Trump moment, that the left had to find a way? And look, politics is a full contact sport. If the other side does something well, did it expose a vulnerability that they didn't want exposed?
I think it very well did. I think what Trump really needs to do, he has an opportunity right now. If he continues to do more retail politics like we saw yesterday, if he continues to really contrast his economy, his policies with Kamala, he really hammers home how he's going to bring prices down, how he's going to secure the border.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.